Well. Good to see you all here again today on this beautiful day. It is actually very, very nice out here. You'll have to forgive me if I pause this every once in a while to cough up lung phlegm, because that's just what this subject does. It generates a lot of phlegm. Not to mention the fact that I'm under the weather a little bit. You can probably hear that, and that's okay. I can still get on here and muster this mister and do what I got to do. Do you know why? Because we have to. We just don't have a choice. Do I like being at war? Nope. Do I like punching people in the fucking face over YouTube? Nope. But sometimes it just has to be done. A couple of days ago, a friend of the channel, Undead Chronic, decided he was going to go and ruffle old EntraMANURE and Car's feathers, and I found it to be interesting. I thought that there was something that I could add to that. So I'm going to go ahead and run guys through the chat here real quick. See what's up, man. There's a lot in the chat already. Goodness gracious. I ain't going to get to it all, guys. Sorry about that. Don't be shitty with me if I miss your comments. Thank you to the 185 strong sets of eyeballs in here. Much appreciation. Bridges don't fly. Yeah, had to give up the booze, but drink them if you got them. MGTOW Life. Hello, Stone Reaper. Cubing Speed. Heads up. I'm going to limit interaction in the chat. Respect to you amazing men, though. I'm going to sit here and quietly listen. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's good. That's good. Chris Mitchell, Brother Reaper, SCE Indy, MGTOW Live, Michael. Everybody's in his house, man. Everybody. Brizzy Boy. Hello, hammer-handed gentlemen. Hola, Brizzy. How you doing? Alex King. Hammer going to learn you today, boys. No, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some opinion to what Mr. Undead started. And he's not wrong about a lot of the shit that he says. How many of these guys out here do you see that are running their mouth about MGTOW, the philosophy, a very passive, outwardly passive philosophy, but nonetheless a philosophy that teaches you to disabuse yourself of usury, of fuckery, of personal drama, nonsense? They got an awful lot to say about it, don't they? It's funny. Then they'll take some mook that's out there talking about how MGTOW should kill all bitches, cut their throats, throw them in a fucking ditch, and they'll use that guy to paintbrush everybody around that says MGTOW or the philosophy. We know the game. They got their walking instructions from people like Saul Alinsky. You see, they watch the mainstream media too. They know how it's done. That's what they do. It's what they do. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Isn't it terrible? We're going to go ahead and get to this piece here real quick, and I'm going to bust in on it when I feel a point needs to be made. You judge it for yourself.
With Jack Donovan, and he's a friend of mine too, and I'm going to have him on my podcast again soon because it's the 10th anniversary for The Way of Man.
Let's start that over.
I know you're friends with Jack Donovan, and he's a friend of mine too, and I'm going to have him on my podcast again soon because it's the 10th anniversary for The Way of Man. Like he's kind of the opinion just to sort of like, leave me alone, let it do what it's going to do, and I'll just, live my life the way that I want to live it. But the way of men is the way of the gang, right? And that's kind of the opening to his book. And I'm with you on the whole, let's draw a perimeter. And
I love this banner, man. Join the 1% community now. 1% of what? What's the 1%er club? There's only a couple of real 1%er and 3%er clubs out there. And they ain't clubs, folks. They ain't clubs. You had to work your way into it. You had to earn your way into it. So it's disingenuous.
And define who's on the outside and who's on the who's on the outside and who's on the inside.
And what he's talking about is trying to gatekeep the manosphere. Now, he doesn't like the manosphere. He doesn't want to be part of the manosphere. It wasn't that long ago that he was on a stream with Rolled Up Tamale talking about how they need to rename the manosphere. And do you know why they want to do that? So that they can copyright it. So that they can gatekeep the product. There ain't nothing wrong with gatekeeping your product. I advocate for gatekeeping. I advocate for gatekeeping in comics, in movies, in entertainment, in your personal life. Gatekeep the fuck out of whatever you want to gatekeep. Do not let these people pass into your sphere. Don't let them in. You can talk a good game, but you eventually have to produce some results. It's amazing to me how many people will allow these people, fuckers like him, to get away with the idea of selling somebody confidence. And it's like, see what I did for them? Man, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. You may have put it into a phrase or a word or a sentence that they could understand and identify with, but they're the ones that have to put the work in. That wasn't you. That wasn't you.
And protect those that are on the inside, nurture them, and live with them in harmony and peace, and make sure if those on the outside try to do anything to you guys on the inside, then you're.
So who's on the outside, homie? Who's on the outside, Mr. Cooper? Men like me, right? I'm sure it's men like me. Men like Undead Chronic. What about the thousands of men that have been saved by the philosophy, that say that they have been saved by the philosophy? That's not us. We're not saying that. They're telling us that they didn't understand anything, that they were headed for the end of a fucking gun or a short walk off of a long pier. Either way, you're going to get there. How about those men? Is it all them 5'2" men? How about them? How about those men?
Of course, able to, respond accordingly. But yeah, it's difficult because it feels like you're a minority, when you're coming from a position of, look, just, you guys, I don't care what people do. I don't care about their orientation, whether they think they're a Z's or her, what pronouns they use. Just don't force your crap on me.
I do. I care what those motherfuckers think and what they are peddling and what they're pushing out into the mainstream. You see, it's that kind of attitude that got us to the position that we're in now. Oh, they just want to be loved. Oh, they just want to marry. Oh, they just want to do X, Y, and Z. And then they want to do 1, 2, and 3 and have an orgy with everything in between. Fuck those motherfuckers. Fuck them. It's that type of moral turpitude, that lack of morals and ethics, values and principles that has put us in the goddamn boat that we're in. So yeah, I do care about it. Now, you want to take a tree trunk to bed? That's your business, right? That's your business. I'm not going to show up at your door and police who you're fucking or who's fucking you. Maybe that's what you mean. Maybe that's what you mean. I don't know. Sometimes it's really hard to tell what these people mean when their mouth is moving.
Right.
Well, but then also to go back to what I said earlier about protecting, providing, and presiding, part of that, and I said it was to make sure that we do that for people who can't do it for themselves. So when I see gender ideology, for example, being shoved down the throats of children who don't know any better and can't defend themselves, you're damn right I'm going to say something about it. Because it's not right to mutilate physically young boys and young girls or to introduce them to permanent puberty and hormone suppressing type chemicals, and then quite literally permanently castrate these young children. They can't defend themselves.
Now, he's not wrong. Ryan Mitchler here is not wrong. Everything he just said, I absolutely agree with. People have to, in my opinion, people have to stop turning their backs to this evil. Got to start standing up, folks. Got to start standing up, or there isn't going to be anything left to stand up for. We're working on the 3rd generation of destroyed human beings. We're circling the fucking drain. I'm not talking about saving the world. I'm not talking about saving society. I'm talking about saving basic humans, because we're just about done. We're just about done.
They're physically, of course, but also mentally. We homeschool our kids.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you homeschool your kids. So how do you go about, defending those kids that might not be in a position to have an opportunity, like have a dad like you?
Yeah. So part of it is
you repeal the 19th Amendment. That's how you do it. You repeal the 19th Amendment. You take away a woman's right to vote. She should not be standing on equal ground with me. Okay, because I have to spill my blood on command, right? So does she. So does she. Except for her and all the bitches that follow them around that use the army, that use the armed forces to go get that GI Bill, to develop some skills and then come out and kick a man out of that fucking job. It's voluntary. It's voluntary. They're not compelled by force like men are. So you take out the 19th Amendment. And that's why you have to be concerned with all of these people now that are running around with their Laffy Taffy colored fucking hair, with their gender neutral politics. It's just sex, homie. Never thought that I would see the day. I never thought that I would see the day when people would be so fucking obliterated that they can't wake up in the morning and determine what reality is. But we're here.
Is talking about it, of course, but that doesn't always go far. It never goes far enough just talking about it. But it's also rallying other men to do the same for their families. That's why I've always been an outspoken proponent, not always, more recently, proponent of homeschooling. And then I also encourage men to get involved in their communities. So that means coaching your sons and daughters' baseball teams and sports teams. It means going to student council.
I have to address this book that just came up, the Unplugged Alpha. Now, look, I haven't read the book. I wouldn't spend dime one on it. I wouldn't wipe my ass with it for fear of getting butthole cancer. But it's just humorous to me, the Unplugged Alpha.
Or excuse me, school board meetings, getting involved in PTA, getting involved in local politics so that we can do what we need to do to protect our youth from these horrible, horrible and destructive ideologies that are being presented with these days.
Speaking of ideologies, what do you think of the MGTOW movement, the men?
And we're off to the fucking races. Let's let these guys get this shit out of their mouths real quick, and we'll figure out what to say about it.
Going their own way thing.
This is always
now, why does this matter? Why does this matter? I'm going to tell you why it matters. I'm going to give you the uncut dope. I'm going to give you the skinny right now why this matters. Because MGTOW is taking money out of the bank for these motherfuckers. MGTOW is 100% free. There's a lot of guys out here that'll talk about their PayPal link. If you feel compelled and you want to drop some change in the bucket for these guys, be my guest. It's all good. But they're not selling you soap on a rope. They're not selling you my 10-part course on how to be a man this year. How to adjust to sexual dynamics in 2025. Fuck that shit.
So I get this question quite often. I think there's some validity to what they're sharing. I think that if there wasn't, it would be repulsive.
Why? What's repulsive about disabusing yourself of usury? What's repulsive about disabusing yourself of drama and trauma? What's repulsive about not seeking validation in any other human being other than yourself? Have any of these motherfuckers, either of these fellas on this screen right now, spoken to an actual MGTOW? I doubt it.
So you have to dabble some truth into it. But to me, it seems like whether it's the MGTOW or the red pill movement seems to be becoming an increasingly extreme version of confident, courageous, capable men, and is in a way turning into the extreme feminist version for men.
All right. Now, Ryan, I was on your side when you were talking about saving kids and interfering in the Marxist communist agenda that is currently being puffed all through society and culture. I'm not with you on this one, homie. How many MGTOW do you know that receive government sponsorships? How many MGTOW do you know that receive government grants? How many private donations do MGTOW get that tally in the millions? How many corporations from all over the world support MGTOW with little pink rainbows everywhere? Me. None. Zero. Not a fucking one. Feminism is financed all over the world and is ingrained in society. And it damages men and it damages women. It harms every human being that it touches. Feminism is cancer. Feminism is a slow fucking 35-year stroll right down death alley. And these folks don't see it until they get there. It's a lie. MGTOW just kind of tells you the truth. And if you're strong enough to absorb the truth and put it into practical use in your life, you can free yourself from all of this very, very quickly. You just have to accept the truth.
And I have a problem with that because you take young men who are impressionable, who are confused, who don't have male influences in their lives.
Why? Why are they confused? Why are they impressionable? And you said young men. What about old men? They don't count no more, right? Fuck them. They're less likely to come out of their pockets because they've been around. Why don't they have a fatherly influence in their life? Who made that happen? I'll give you 3 guesses, but you'll only need one. Miserable fucking feminists. Hoes. By and large. And the men that supported it, that institutionalized it, that made it happen. Those motherfuckers. And you're coming down on the guys that are trying to break away from that and trying to show other men that there's a way out. Now, I will agree with Stardust on one point. Not everybody is meant to be red-pilled. Not everybody is meant to go MGTOW. They just ain't. They blow their heads off. There's just no easy way to say it. I know that there's motherfuckers in this chat right now that felt like that at one point in time. By the grace of God, they didn't do it. They survived, and now they can see the end of the tunnel. They can see the light.
And you teach them that you're gonna make them a badass by going their own way, by not being involved with women, by painting.
No, that is not what they are taught. As a matter of fact, it is pretty much a baptism of fire coming into the red pill, finding MGTOW, finding monk if that's the way that you want to go. We do not recruit anyone. They come to us in droves. Do you know why? Because there's nowhere else to go. Eventually, they find men like you, men like Richard Cooper here. They get used up a little bit. And then they see somebody like Undead Chronic talking, or Spetsnaz, or Arpos, or Red Pill Fred, or Reese, Sandman. And it's like these guys are giving me the lowdown. And they're not telling me that I got to compete with other motherfuckers. You don't have to. You don't have to. Jump out of that shit. This isn't about women. It's never fucking been about women. Women are just what's most convenient to use against men. It's a monetization of your biology. It's predictable.
Everything else is the enemy. And I think that leads to a life of contention and animosity and hostility and anger. Definitely not fulfillment.
Who put them in that frame of mind? I mean, it wouldn't be the bitch that cheated on them, would it? It wouldn't be the fact that they had to listen to their kids screaming and crying while they're being drugged through court or not dropped off on time. Or no, sorry, we can't help you this week, sir, Mr. Father, Mr. ATM. That's what these cocksuckers never say to you. They never say that there is an institutionalized problem. And it's been here for a long, long time. These guys cannot say it. It cannot come out of their mouths. Oh, they'll dance around it. They'll beat around the fucking bush a little bit. Well, there are a couple of laws, that could be, maybe sort of kind of done a little bit differently. Fuck you. There's a whole goddamn book of laws that could be thrown in the river right now, done away with, that we don't need, that interfere with the development of human beings all over the West.
What's the difference between MGTOW and the Red Pill movement as you see
I can't wait to hear this one.
it?
I don't know. I can't really answer that. Maybe I'm unfairly lumping those two into the same category. And maybe you can enlighten me on that a little bit. I've just seen so much from it.
How the fuck can he enlighten you on it? He doesn't know the difference either. He just knows what he puts out there. He just knows what he says. It's whatever he feels at the time. It's emotional. I don't like these MGTOW. Why? Well, because, they're self-destructive. Show me. Well, I can't really do that. Okay, shut the fuck up then. Shut the fuck up. And that's what all of these motherfuckers are going to get from this point forward, is shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You spread misinformation and disinformation everywhere. And that's to keep that motherfucking R8 paid for. $50 a minute is what this motherfucker charges people to call him so he can make them men. How does that make you a man? By coming out your pockets. You might as well go find your favorite bitch and dump all your fucking money on her feet. Same thing. You might get some pussy out of it. Maybe.
That I tend to just distance myself from that arena because I don't want to go there. I really want to serve.
Because it's easier to close your eyes and turn your back than it is to dig into it and understand what's going on. So if he don't know shit about shit, Cooper don't know shit about shit, everything else is just a fucking opinion. It's confirmation bias with a bunch of fucking dating roaches.
Men in constructive ways, and I don't see some of these movements going that way.
Yeah, so to kind of add some context to that, so I was involved in what was called the manosphere. I've called it the Manoswamp now.
Oh, it's the Mano Swamp now. So it wasn't the Mano Swamp when you were in it, right? With your $3,000 an hour consultation fees. This son of a bitch had the nerve to say on a stream not too long ago, well, if they'll pay it. Really, homeboy? Really? Well, if they'll pay it. That's why you get a lot of guys like old John Anthony Lifestyle that don't want to put a number out there, because that cap is fluid. See, if he can get you for 300, he'll get you for 300. If you show up in a Lambo, he'll get you for 3,000 or 5,000 or whatever. Believe it or not, there are motherfuckers out there that make millions that are awkward with women, and they think that these fucking doofuses can help them. And that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. That's a terrible fucking thing. Look where men are at, man. Look what they have fallen to. It's fucking disgusting.
For the last couple of years, because that's really what it looks like to me. And the guys that are MGTOW are definitely red-pilled, but the guys that are red-pilled aren't necessarily going their own way, right? Like there's a lot of guys that are red-pilled that understand women, that understand, what drives attraction, what drives, women away, how to manage stuff over a long-term basis. I think overall, like being red-pilled, and to me, like I call it the like unplugging. Like I called my book The Unplugged Alpha. I know you've probably seen it.
There's the book plug.
Because, we follow each other on
Sure. Yeah.
Instagram. But my book was basically built around the notion that you definitely want to unplug and red pill yourself. And here's some ways that you can apply that to your life so that you can have better experiences in life and with women. I'm not opposed to dealing with women. I'm in a long-term relationship, have been for a while now.
Well, that's interesting. Long-term relationship, have been for a while now, with a single mother taking on somebody else's kids. You cannot make this shit up. I'm going to teach you how to be free. I'm going to teach you how to be a man. I'm going to teach you all kinds of shit. Hold on a second. I've got to go pick up some other man's kids from school. Captain Save-A-Hole showed up to this video with no cape. That's all right. It's probably hung up nice in the closet. You know that closet.
I have a chapter in my book actually about MGTOW. I think you'd like it because it kind of hits on some of the stuff that you're getting at, but it goes a lot deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
But
I'd love to check it out.
yeah, it's an interesting like segment of like men's spaces, because you see like, you know, the tradcon space, the MGTOW guys, the black pill guys, the different color, like there's all these different colors of pills now.
No, there isn't. That's delineation. And that's an unfortunate aspect of the manosphere, is that people had to start doing that stupid shit. We have words, names, phrases, and clauses for all of the shit that is already out there that somebody tried to attach a pill to. There's reality, and then there's what they show you. The red pill or the blue pill. You know which one it is. Everything else already has a function. Everything else is already there. It's already been named. It's just code speak for something that already exists. If you want to go this far, it's Marxism. And it's a strange amount of Marxism. It's weird.
You know, there's white, purple, red, blue. It's like nobody can make up their
The
mind. It's like,
LGBTQ of awakening
right.
pills, right?
Yeah. It's all of a sudden turning into the alphabet soup.
There's your not so subtle connection to feminism or the alphabet soup community, and trying to link MGTOW and people that follow the philosophy with the most degenerate form of social hierarchy that there is on the planet right now: feminism, gynocracy. I didn't see anywhere in feminism or gynocracy where MGTOW was on the same side as the culture. And that's not what it's about, gang. It's never been about that. It's about becoming a better person, becoming self-aware. The only way that you're going to become a better person is if you become self-aware. If you understand that most of the things that you experience in life are by design. Now, I'm not talking about a grand scheme where your destiny is planned out. No, I'm talking about a grand scheme where you are monetized from breath one to the coffin. Now, you can't live your life getting up every single day after you have your little bowl of Wheaties, you get your little 2 sandwiches for lunch, and you come home. Maybe you got enough money to eat dinner. I don't know. Maybe. A lot of us don't. I ain't talking about none of that.
Of, you know, like
Right.
like the alphabet crowd is now turning into different colored pills, right? And everybody wants to like hold theirs, you know, the highest, like this is the best one.
Right.
And if you don't subscribe to
course.
mine, then I'm going to hate you, sort of thing.
No, nobody said that. Nobody said that. No one on the MGTOW philosophy has said that. If you don't look at MGTOW and like, we hate your guts and fuck, no. Even when I speak out against you, Mr. Cooper, and the things that you say and do, that's not hatred. I don't hate you. I don't hate Ryan over here. It's just a matter of not letting you guys get away with what you've been getting away with. You see, holding your fucking feet to the fire, calling you out, saying what it is. And it is crooked. It is deceitful. It is misleading. It is leading these motherfuckers right back to the back door to plantation. That's what it is. And none of that is good for me. But you have to be strong enough to turn your back on that biology. You have to realize that the fucking game is rigged. The only way you win is to invest in yourself, is not to play. And that's why you have to control that biology. You must. And if you can't do that, you're going to be on the hook every day for the rest of your life. These men right here have found ways to live with that. They monetize you and you pay for their lifestyle. And if you're good with that, by all means, cut them niggas a check. Make it happen.
So it's
or if you don't subscribe to mine, then I'm a victim of you, which is
Right.
even worse.
Yeah. It's
No, you ain't a victim, and we don't make ourselves victims. I can say confidently about anybody that claims MGTOW or that is sitting on Monk Mountain, we're not victims. We're not victims. We chose not to be victims.
I guess if, according to what you're saying, if you're saying it that way, I would consider myself red pilled in a way, in that I recognize it for what it is. I'm not going to make myself subservient to women or think that I'm inferior, but I'm also not going to take it to the extreme and think that they don't add an amazing dynamic to life that is so valued in a thriving society, So I do get very skeptical when we start placing these types of terms around it, like manosphere, which I don't like. I like manoswamp.
Of course you do, Ryan. Of course you do. That's because Chief Beaver Cheeks there is leading you down the road, the primrose path. You hadn't heard that word until 5 fucking minutes ago. Now all of a sudden it's cool. You like it. I'm not out here to defend the formation or the disintegration of the manosphere, but there will always be a place that men go where no one else has rights to. And you have to hold on to that with everything that you've got. If you can't talk, if you can't hold a coffee shop meeting with men without having side eyes the whole time, you can't. You can't have a group of men getting along without somebody in the alphabet soup community wanting them to start fucking licking each other's balls, because that's how these motherfuckers live. They project front and center with their race and their sexuality. That's all they are. There's a lot more to life than that bullshit.
Red pill, MGTOW, it concerns me, because even TradCon, then it becomes tribal, and
But aren't men tribal though?
Yes,
but the way of men is the way of the gang, right?
What kind of shit is that? The way of men is the way of what? Did he say the way of the gang or the game? Either way, it's stupid. The way of men is to be free. That's the way of men. Not to read a fucking book and wrap your life up in a book or somebody else's ideology. The way of men is to be free, to be a free thinker, to understand that you can risk your very freedom and life by espousing thoughts that go against the cultural grain.
It's true, but if we can't expose ourselves to new information because we're so extremely tribal that anything from the outside isn't a threat to us.
I defy you to find anybody in the manosphere that is more open to talking and speaking and discussing ideas than a MGTOW. You will not find it. You will not find it. We take all comers, all of them, and we will talk to them. We will sit down and have a chat with them. I don't debate motherfuckers. I don't show up for debates. But I will talk to you. I will have a conversation with you. Anybody. But they don't do that. They won't do that, and they very rarely do that even amongst themselves.
Like, here's an example, is that in modern culture, especially on social media, like, people won't even have conversations. I had Phil Robertson on the podcast. He's very spiritual. half of our conversation was him going through passages from the Bible,
Mhm.
which doesn't bother me. That's fine if that's his context and his framework in which he views life, which mine is somewhat overlapped, not to the level his. That's fine. But I had a guy say, well, you know, I'd be very careful of aligning yourself with him. Aligning, because I had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I had a conversation with a man who is saying something.
You just take one instance, you know, the most pointy instance that you can see in comments or however you received that, and try to paintbrush everybody with it. You cannot do that. You're using the exception as the rule. How many other comments in your thread there were like, hey, that's kind of cool, or something like that? One motherfucker comes across and says, be careful of that association, then it's everybody. That is the reactionary left. That's part of the reactionary left. That's part of the road to usury, especially exclusion. And what have they spoken about in this video? Exclusion. I'm not going to make up your mind for you. I'm not going to tell you how to think. You make up your mind where these motherfuckers sit. This one right here is leading this one in every subject. This guy can't think for himself. And that's not a knock on Ryan Mitchler. He can't think for himself. There's too many men out here that cannot think for themselves. And unfortunately, they run into motherfuckers like this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have to agree with everything he says.
Yeah, I get the same thing too. Like I'll talk to somebody that like one subscriber doesn't like, and he's like, unsubscribe. It's like, dude, I don't care. Like, you really have to write that? Leave.
I will agree with that. You know, if you're gonna look, if somebody that you listen to says something that you don't like, there's no need to announce your exit. You know, just go find somebody else to listen to. I mean, what do you think they're gonna do? You think that they're gonna mourn you? No, they're not. They're just gonna say, okay, see you later. You know, easy come, easy go. There's no need to be petulant. Don't be petulant.
Just go.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it becomes a problem when we cling so hard to our ideologies, whatever side of the aisle or spectrum they're on, that we aren't willing to at least consider that maybe there's another way of looking at it. And
well, if maybe there's another way of looking at it, then why aren't you trying to see how MGTOW look at it? Interesting question, right? Why aren't you trying to see how MGTOW look at it? Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, the day is going to come where somebody who calls themselves MGTOW is going to run amok with a fucking machine gun or a hatchet and do some terrible shit. Is that a MGTOW? No, absolutely not. That's somebody that did at some point in time probably identify with the words being spoken by MGTOW or by Monk. And then somewhere down the line, they made the decision that they were going to do horrific shit. And I'm not saying that we should be pacifists, but the philosophy by itself is a pacifist philosophy. It all depends on you. How far you're willing to go with your own development. What Mr. Mitchler here is saying, it's riddled with inconsistencies. There's no ideology that guides men that want to free themselves from usury, disabuse themselves from the narcissistic cunts that are walking around all over this planet. That's common sense.
That's what I mean when I say becoming tribal.
Yeah. Hey guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that short clip. If you did, consider supporting the creation of content by checking.
I think we're done with that. Let's get that fucking shit off of there. Yo, man. What do y'all think? You think that was cool? You think Cooper was telling the fucking truth? You think he's the fucking man? Do you? I don't know. You come on here and talk to me about it then if you want to. Link in the chat. Holla. If you want to. If you don't want to, that's all good too. But yeah, man. I think It's time to knock guys like this out of this space. They already realize that they're losing massive ground. That's why they're not interested at all in trying to be with the manosphere. They don't want to be with the manosphere because the manosphere is getting cleaned up. I'd like to welcome to the show Gray. What's up, Gray?
Oh, 1 sec. Got both tabs open here.
Yes, sir.
So I saw that Mr. Cooper has a book.
Mr. Cooper's got a book, man. How about that shit?
Yeah. And so I thought, I wonder if it's been cracked and posted for free online.
Has it?
Oh, yes, it has.
Oh, man. You will have to send me a copy of that, if not an abridged portion.
Oh, yeah. I've actually downloaded the copy, and I'll send it to you on Discord.
That sounds pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny. So what's up, brother? Questions, comments, concerns?
I honestly, I find it fascinating the way that they argue. Like, I can even see it in the way they write. It's take legitimate points and then ignore and misrepresent them.
Yep. Twist them up. Yep. And that's what they do. And they're good at it. You got to give them props, man. They're good at it.
Credit where credit is due. They are. But like, you can see, it's so easy. Like, you can see how a man who doesn't have a foundation to stand on, doesn't have a solid position, can easily get pulled along with it.
Well, I agree with you on that, man. When you're standing on shaky ground, anything that you try to build on it is going to be shaky. And their philosophy is shaky. The things that they do, the things that they sell, the way that they try to represent men as weaklings that need their help, it's annoying at best.
Yeah, well, and I keep running into this, but it seems always this element of projection.
Sure.
Because that's the thing. These guys, they assume, as a lot of people I've found assume, that everybody is like them.
Yeah, there's no tolerance for folks that are outside their thought process. None.
Yeah. So that's where, like, a man that can stand on his own and be like, no, hold up, you're making some bullshit right there. You're misrepresenting stuff. They can't fathom that because they'll get pulled along with it too. Like, I've never seen these guys make a solid counter argument.
It's just, I don't like this. I think that they're hurting men. How? Okay, you don't like it. That's cool. But how are they hurting men? How does MGTOW hurt men? Oh, you're going to be lonely and you're going to... Well, initially you probably will be. But that's your body and your spirit, your emotional core bleeding off all of that indoctrination. When you get to that point, man, you won't be lonely anymore. That I promise. Been there.
Yeah. And again, loneliness is relative. Like, you don't need to have a whole bunch of people physically around you.
No,
at all
of course
times.
You don't. No, you just have to find that proper perspective in life. And then that loneliness that people talk about, it's just that ingrained notion, that idea that everybody has a soulmate, and that you have to be bonded to this person. All of that shit is rooted in keeping the human manufacturing process going. All of it. You ready for an addition? We're going to add somebody to this little party here.
All right.
Success Pool Endeavors. Welcome to the show, sir.
Greetings, Hammerhand. How are you doing?
I'm chilling, brother. I'm chilling. What's going on, man?
Okay, I posted in the general chat and then in the private chat a link to the New America outfit. And if you look at the board of directors of that outfit, you'll see some names which control the big tech corporations, namely like Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, the FANG group, which is, that's just part of Alphabet Inc. And, that's a publicly traded New York Stock Exchange stock. And so these folks that sit on the board of directors both at Alphabet and also do this leftist outfit, this New America. Okay, now these are the same people that are censoring you. These are the same people that are labeling, all men. And this isn't just MGTOW. This is the PUAs, the black pills, the MRAs, anybody that's got some type of affiliation with the manosphere. They're trying to individually label each group as some type of an extremist outfit.
Sure.
DR and I had spoken about, a possible MGTOW shooter at least a year or two before Elliot Rodger had come along,
Sure.
in the whole incel thing.
Sure. It only takes one guy, man. It only takes these people. There are operatives on the inside of this stuff that needle these fucking guys. They find somebody that's vulnerable, and it only takes one of them to start working on one of these guys and drive them over the edge.
Well, and honestly, even it's one of the things that Cooper brings up in his book. He's like, well, there's been 27 incel identifying mass murders in the US. So what example does he provide? The one from Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. Big fucking shock.
Then not only that, then you had that guy who was the Denver shooter that, was all about the liminal order. And it's like, just not even a week before, here's Jack talking about, MGTOW is a bunch of school shooters. And it's like,
Yep.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Guess what just happened in your outfit?
And then one of the guys that were subbed to the liminal order, the seminal fluid order, as we like to call it, went out and murdered 5 fucking people. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, we know where we stand. We know what we espouse. I know what I try to get men to identify with.
So I just look at this board. One of the board of directors, Ashton Kutcher's on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense, though. Yeah. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense that Kutcher would be part of that.
I want you to look up Eric Emerson Schmidt, okay? Yeah, just beneath his picture, you're going to find a picture of Jonathan Soros. Both Jonathan Soros and Alexander Soros, they get their money supplied, to New America. But you see, these are the same guys that, they do their father's bidding, and these are the same folks that, keep BLM and Antifa all happy and everything, keep them all, in a good supply of bricks. And, they're all, peacefully protesting and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm looking.
Yep,
There's
yep.
there's a shit ton of people on this list.
Gents,
Really?
Any comments, questions, or concerns? I'm going to bring a couple of more folks on.
Yeah, no, I went to the New America page, back to the home, the Our People section. Holy shit, there's a lot of people here.
Keep digging. Keep looking at where those people are associated, who they're associated with, who their donors and funders are. It'll blow your fucking head off.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
Ooh, Douglas Ollivant, ASU Future of War Senior Fellow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the thing, like, honestly, these names would probably mean a lot more to someone more familiar with these circles, like Canadians. So I wouldn't know a bunch of them.
No. All you got to do, man, is drop that thing in a Google search bar and just start following the links.
Yeah, you'll start digging skeletons out of the closet all over the place, man.
Fucking big time. So, all right, gents, I'm going to get a couple more folks on here. So you got anything else, SE?
No, I just wanted to bring that up and just let you know that, we are dealing with some truly psychopathic people, but there is hope in this. I will say that. And, they had been running some computer simulations for a couple of decades, and every time the computer would spit out the same results. And that was that the bottleneck would show that there is going to be a great awakening. And I mean, we may not be facing it now. I mean, it certainly seems like they're trying to genocide us. That much is certain. But
yes, sir.
But the thing of it is that, this great awakening, it's inevitable. They can't stop this.
No, they can't. It's coming, and they're going to try to find a way to get out ahead of it. You know, like you're seeing it in small doses, like with your media, like with some sports players now, some stick and ballers and some fucking movie actors. They're trying to get out ahead of it where they weren't saying shit before, or they were on the flip side of things 2.5 years ago. Now they're talking about they need to get out, like Bill Maher. Bill Maher's a perfect example. He was instigating an economic collapse to get Trump out of office. He was instigating everything that happened, and now it's just too much for him. So yeah, he's trying to get out ahead of it.
Yeah, well, I don't have any sympathy for him. I mean, you know, these folks, it's kind of funny, but you know, you brought up a video on a alternate platform that perfectly summed up everything. You can't say any of that stuff here on the tube, but
No.
I happen to agree with you. You know, Thanos was right. Some of them folks got to go.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go back to the chat. Y'all have a good one.
Peace, man. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace, Greg.
God.
You good, brother? There you go. Welcome to the stream, Eric Zombrow. What's up, Eric?
Hey, how you doing, Hammer? How's
Chilling,
it going,
my
everybody?
friend, chilling.
Good. I just wanted to point out what you, one of the other content creators, a guy by the name of Chris Mitchell. He had a great stream the other night, and he said that these guys prey on men at the lowest point of their lives. They're no better. They're no better than the family court.
I agree with you.
No better. And
100%. Yes,
it's
absolutely.
absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
I'm going to welcome to the chat here, Singletown Bachelor, and we'll have a little three-way here. You know what I mean.
Oh, yo, man. Yo.
What's up, sir? So comments, questions, concerns, Singletown. What's up?
Well, I think that it's astonishing that he said a lot of things about MGTOW while he clearly doesn't have read up on his on what it is.
No, he doesn't know anything about it.
That's the
Cooper
point.
says you can't like it because I don't like it, and he follows right behind him. And you find that in every facet of society. People don't want to do their work. They find confirmation bias in everything.
You know, they're lazy ass.
I've never been happy at being a MGTOW. Like, yeah, you get lonely at first, but like as you said, you shed that, and the peace, the solitude, the freedom. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is for me. It always has been.
Yeah.
I didn't go through very much. Well, let me not minimize that. I'd say I was down probably for 2.5, 3 years solidly while I was trying to figure things out. And then once I actually got things squared away in my head and I started to see where all of this was coming from, and then those patterns started to repeat themselves, I was like, well, maybe this is something. Then I started digging into it and looking, and I don't feel those things anymore. I don't. It's not a self-delusion. It's not an illusion. I don't feel those things anymore. You know, I used to be not even joking, used to be all about trying to get that pussy. I mean, not just to get it, but to keep it, to lock it down.
And
you know?
Look, all of us were. Everybody was in a blue pill coma at one point in their life.
Sure. What everybody else out here would call normal, right?
Right.
That's normal. That's the way that you're raised. It's normal.
Yeah, I'm 54 and I don't have the you said that like you said, Hammer, the urge. Yeah, we're a couple of old fuckers.
Yeah, I'm 52, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But Hammer,
go ahead.
I'll jump off so let someone else on, but I just wanted to point that out, that what Chris Mitchell said in his live stream. These guys fleece men at the lowest point of their lives.
Yeah.
Take care, brother. God bless.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Bye.
Well, it's
what's up, homie? What you want to say?
It's
oh shit. I accidentally knocked him off. Hey, I'm sorry about that, man. Get your butt back in here. There's the StreamYard link right there. I'm sorry about that, Holmes. I didn't mean to do that. I was looking at the other, my panel switched over and I knocked you out instead of the other guy. Instead of Eric. Yeah, come back on here, man. Lion of MGTOW in the house. Block, ignore, ghost. Get them out of here, man. Get them out of here. We can't have that shit. We simply can't do that. Not anymore. Welcome to the stream, Sweaty Fat Man. What's up, homie?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Oh, it's going, man. What's up?
Just going back to what you guys were talking about with SCE.
Yeah.
About 5-6 years ago, I started realizing that what's going on with all these people is they're trying to push Marxism on all of us.
Oh, yes.
But they're not going to live by those rules.
No, of course
That's a
not.
way to control us, and they feel like they're going to like run us, like they're going to own us.
Yes. Well, look, I mean, if you want to look at it a little bit harder, they already do.
Oh, yeah.
They already do. It's very, very unfortunate. Singletown Bachelor. There you go. I'll get you in just a minute, brother. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you got to buy everything from them. They set the price for it.
Sure.
Or if you're a farmer, they set the price for what they'll buy your crops from you for.
Well, they get into you by making farming extremely expensive and unprofitable so that you have to take government subsidies to exist. And then if you don't burn crops, destroy entire crops of food when they say so, like they've done all through the last year, just wipe crops right off the earth.
Yeah,
then they'll pull the subsidies.
on what it was.
It was corn and wheat and milk, and there were some meat crops that were wiped out. Yeah.
Well, the other problem with farming, Carter did this. Like, remember the grain embargo back when we were little kids?
Yes, I do.
All right. That I grew up on a farm in the 70s and 80s, and that was a shitty time to be on a farm because we had like just a glut of grain because we weren't sending it to Russia.
Yeah. How many farms went under because of it?
Oh, shit. I knew hundreds.
Yes.
And I ended up getting out of farming because of that in the late 80s because there was no money there. And it's all because we were still producing at the same rate, but we had nowhere to go with it.
Yep.
So I can kind of understand, destroying some crops to keep the price up. And right now, corn is what, $7.38 a bushel, which makes it like hideously expensive to make fuel from.
Yeah, you can't. There's no way that it should have been. There's no way that it should ever be that high. So
right, but that helps the farmer, except that now he has to pay $6 a gallon for diesel.
Yeah, and we're almost there.
Well, they're going to be paying that easily this year spring, because they're going to be planting next month. They can't plant until April 1st or May 1st. It depends on where they're at. But everything, they control the price of everything.
Yes, I know.
So that's why that's why I'm working on getting to where I make what I need.
Yeah, it's a worldwide monopoly. That's why these people have their meetings all over the planet at different locations every single year, a couple of times a year, is so that they can coordinate and price fix.
Yep.
Of course, that's what they do. So questions, comments, concerns, brother?
Just everybody should listen to that 15 Tons song again.
You got it.
Because that's essentially what this you'll own nothing and be happy thing is, because they want you to rent everything from them and forever be in perpetual debt.
Agreed. 100%. Well, I appreciate you dropping by, man.
Yep.
Thank you, bro.
Have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Man. Peace. And welcome back to the stream, Singletown Bachelor. Sorry about that, brother.
That's the problem. Like he said that the Great Reset. I feel here in Denmark, it's they are pushing prices on fuel and electric and everything up at a rate that I don't know, about a couple of years from now on, people will have a hard time paying for basic necessities.
The idea is to keep you broke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the idea. If you were able to amass wealth of any kind, you'd get a leg up and you'd start to interfere with their monopoly. Yep. These people generationally pass the world down from one to the other.
Yeah, it's it feels like more people should do the thing that Better Bachelor is doing, Joker,
Yeah.
buying a piece of land and get out.
Well, even then, you're
Otherwise,
not
it's,
totally free. I mean, you still got land tax.
yeah,
Never understood that. How can you buy a fucking piece of land? It's yours, but you still got to pay tax.
yeah.
It's absurd.
It's about get out of town.
Yeah, it is. It's fucked up. So, comments, questions, concerns, brother?
Nah.
All right. Hey, man,
That's
thanks
fun
for calling in
to
from.
finally chat with you. So see you around.
Yeah, man, I
And,
appreciate you. So you said Danish, right? So
Yep.
what part of the country?
Jutland.
Oh man, no kidding.
Yeah, Viking Town.
Yeah, right on. Keep rocking it, man.
That's why my avatar's like that. That's
Yeah, I like that.
when you saw what it's looked like in 700.
Yeah,
AD.
I've been going over some older photographs. I like to do like terrascaping and just see how the land has changed over the years, and it's shocking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, that's Googly's our friend, you know.
so they say.
Yeah.
So they say.
But you can actually see about the number of building sites in the city, and it's like they're taking up root and then making people move into condos that is I don't know, crap size.
Yeah, it's pretty cramped, I'm sure. I'm sure it is.
I'm basically on last leg of mentally getting my brain to get off, simply to move out, because it's the city I grew up in, it doesn't look like that anymore. It's about, I wouldn't say skyscrapers, but it's, I don't know what it looks like. It's crap. It's not about the buildings that they were building for 50 or 70 years ago. I live in
it doesn't look like your country.
Nope.
It's more like an imperial outpost, right?
We actually have a theater in the city that from Google Maps looks like a Star Wars cruiser.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It's called Aarhus Theater. So look it up, and it has the the dark side.
I bet. All right, man. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring another one on, and I appreciate you greatly, man.
Thank you for keeping up.
Hey, no problems, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome to the stream, Mr. MGTOW Cowboy.
Yes. Hello. Hey, Hammer. How's it going?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. I wanted to share a comment and also offer a PSA to the community.
Sure.
So I guess first a PSA. As you might be aware, and of course I want to make everyone in the chat aware. Myself and Polska Bob are hosting a Red Pill MGTOW meetup in Chicago in like 10 weeks.
Going to be with,
if anyone is interested. I'm sorry.
That's going to be with 20 piece too, right?
I'm not sure. Yes, I know some people are confirmed. I think Reverend 20 piece. I think Mr. Terrence Pop as well. Myself, Polska. I think Rad or Rebel Against Defeat.
Yeah, Rebel
I believe
Against
he's confirmed
Defeat,
as well. But I'm hoping that it will grow to at least like 20 people or something. And yeah, if anyone is interested, I think it's the third. Was it the 24th? I think it's the third Friday of June in Chicago. If any of you guys can get off of work and you want to drive into the city, we're going to be hosting a Red Pill meetup.
Sweet.
So
man. That sounds pretty.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then also I wanted to make the comment very quickly. You were talking earlier in the stream. You were talking about how unfortunately, eventually, it may transpire where some wacko or some crazy does something evil or shoots up a synagogue or a church or something, and then they're going to try to blame it on MGTOW.
Yeah.
In a way, they've already in a way they've already done this. There was an incident. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to highlight there. I made a video about it. There was an incident in Plymouth in England where a very disturbed young man. I don't know how he was able to get a shotgun, but he was able to get a shotgun somehow, and he killed. I think he killed like 6 people or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at the media was talking immediately. The media was trying to they were linking him with the quote unquote incel community.
Yeah, that's the only way that they're going to be able to do anything like that, is to try to tie what they consider to be incels to MGTOW.
And that's exactly how I think they're going to try to. Exactly, you just said it. And then what they're going to do is they're going to try to link incel with MGTOW. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what they're going to try to do. But the
And
fact
in
that
the,
these people have gotten out ahead of themselves a little bit, that whole fucking incel panic when the Joker movie dropped, they really kind of stubbed their toes on that one. It was dumb.
I'm reminded of I think it's the what is it? Some department in Texas also talked about how incels are potential domestic terrorists. There was I think the Canadian
so are parents at school boards, right?
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So fuck them.
And in the video, or in this media, it was like a 40-second blurb on British media. It was using all these buzzwords that we're so used to, like toxic masculinity and white supremacy and incel, and so we know what their strategy is.
Absolutely, we do, and that's why it's important to combat that at every turn.
Yeah,
and make sure that when you're putting your product out, if you're a content creator, that you're not falling into the traps and snares that they lay for you, because they do. Google participates in it, Alphabet participates in it, YouTube participates in it, Facebook, Instagram, all of them. So
yeah, no, it's a war of information. So
sure it is.
I guess I'll leave it at that. It's a pleasure. It was very nice to see a morning stream.
Always
So
a pleasure to have you guys on, man. I appreciate you, Cowboy. Thank you.
All right, Hammerhand.
All right, I do see the couple that are backstage already. You guys hang tight real quick. We're going to get the Bandit in here and have a chat. What's up, Bandit?
Hello, Mr. Hammerhand. How's your day?
How you doing, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Chilling, man. Chilling here on a nice morning. Comments, questions, concerns?
Just want to say real quick, it's an honor to speak with you, and I just want to talk about leadership.
Sure.
In that sense, and how these faux manosphere people keep trying to act as faux leaders and trying to get men that lost their way to get money out of them.
Come on, man. I mean,
it's
for the
killing
small
me.
price of $3,000, you could be a man again.
I know, it's killing me, because it's like you're preying on weak. I mean, these are predator people. And like,
Yes.
these people should be, thrown to the curb, and worse things happen to them.
They should just be exposed. People should just know who and what they're dealing with, and not be so desperate to try to fit into some particular social groove that they're willing to sacrifice their soul to get there.
Exactly. And I do appreciate you and Chronic and Ribby and everybody else exposing these people. That's the best we can do right now. But it's just sad, because people are going to fall through the cracks, and they're going to pay that $3,000, and then they're going to be,
They will. And
it
it's sad
kills
that
me.
they do. It hurts my feelings. It really does, that there are people out there that would be willing to go to such an extreme. $3,000 is not chump change.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not. And you think that they're mostly taking advantage of very young men.
Mhm.
Older men aren't subscribing to Rich Cooper. I mean, he'll get a few, sure, but it's young men that are lost, that are clueless, or guys that are coming out of breakups, kid rape, things like that.
Yes. 100%.
Those are the ones that are subscribing to that, and you're fucking them again.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was wanted to talk to you about, because I feel like this is a category where MGTOW has a distinct advantage at is showing and describing what to look for with a leader. And I'm not saying for you to be the leader to look for, but to actually maybe have a talk about being a leader and what that means, what to look for, that kind of stuff, so you don't get bamboozled by these assholes.
Well, I can give you a little bit of what I think of that right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is no appointed leader of MGTOW. There are no appointed leader of monks. What I would suggest is if you run across content creators that make sense to you, not necessarily mold your life to them, but maybe pick up a few of their cues and then start running your life for yourself and be your own leader.
Exactly. Yeah. But this is the kind of stuff that needs to be talked about.
Agreed.
And it's missed on a lot of. I'm not saying your MIG channel, but I'm saying on other MGTOW channels, it's what's missed.
Well, they might be learning. They might be in the process of doing other things. I mean, when you first get into this, there's 10,000 things to talk about.
Oh, I understand.
You know, and prioritizing them, it's a challenge. It is. It's a challenge. I mean, chances are, if you're coming into this now, anytime in the last 6 or 8 years, you're already talking about things that have been addressed, that have been talked about, just putting another spin on it.
Agreed.
You know, but I think that it constantly needs to be put out there, even if it's the same lesson 10 times. You know, repetition is a wonderful thing, especially when it comes to contacting new people that are falling into the manosphere.
Correct. And the last thing I wanted to say,
yes, sir.
They're talking about like creating your own communities. I will say this though, there's other channels already working with crypto, with buying real estate through crypto and helping the average person buy real estate for farming communities and building your own community. So this work is happening. It's not widely put out there yet, but there is work happening where the community, the MGTOW and other communities are trying to get away and make their own communities and giving you the tools to allow that to happen.
So, yeah, I agree. I mean, I've
it's
been
happening.
contacted by many people that are.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it's not happening at the pace that everybody wants it to happen at. They want it to happen yesterday. I understand these things take years to do, but
that's a big part of the problem with men coming up today.
There's going to be a lot of talk coming out with using crypto to buy real estate and communities being developed and everything where people are going to be able to live on their own with relatively low amount of startup money and join a community and be able to not be part of the whole city culture and the whole gynocentric way things are going in our country. So, or at least in the United States.
I agree, but it's going to be the fight of our lives because they're not just going to let you walk away.
Agreed.
You know, people think that you can just go ahead and walk. It's going to get to a tipping point where they recognize what's going on. They are not going to let you just walk away. You will have to fight them to the death for your freedom.
Yep.
So, all right, brother. I was going to bring somebody else on, man, but thanks for coming on.
Yep. Thanks for having me and have a great day.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome to the stream, Sir Yeetus. Yeet or be yeeted.
What is going on? Hopefully everybody's having a good day.
What's up, sir? How you doing?
I am good, and my St. Patrick's Day started early. And I seen your stream. I was like, ooh, perfect opportunity to talk about the current PUAs and coaches shenanigans, because I've been talking about this for the last couple of days and how much disdain I have for those type of people.
Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second, and let me bring in the Pulse, and we can have this chat here together because he's the last one hanging on here. So what's up, Pulse?
What's going on, Hammer?
Zero, man. We're going to get back to Sir Yeetus here for a quickie. He can say what he's got to say, and then we can just chop it up a little.
All right.
Go ahead. Sir Yeetus.
So I'm sure that, people that follow my channel are kind of sick of me repeating this, but I think it needs to be said over and over. How are you going to follow somebody that claims to be for you, but have countless paywalls just to give you mediocre advice? That's not having a man's best interest at heart. That is very disingenuous, right?
Yeah,
but
of course,
they're only going to go after the very desperate that's looking for guidance, and they the audacity, especially with what's his name, Carpool, and that other freaking weirdo. When they were not that popular yet, they were all boasting about being in the manosphere. But now, when they reach a certain height, all of a sudden it's bad.
I think that they've reached a certain amount of resistance. You know, these guys get to a point and their money starts to plateau. And then when that starts dropping off, there's a reason that it's dropping off. It's not because they have milked the manosphere dry. It's not because there's no money to be had. You know, shekels can be had anywhere. It's because they're getting a lot of resistance now from a certain few people.
Exactly. Because at this point, men are starting to wake up. And when certain men are starting to wake up, like I said yesterday, all people of society, various people, such as feminists, male feminists, gold diggers, homosexuals, PUAs, coaches, they all suffer in the process every time a man wakes up and realizes he has a choice to not play this game.
Hammer, can I interject on that?
Yes, sir. Of course, please.
I just got a message for your young men out there. No one, and I mean no one, can tell you what a man is.
Yeah,
All
I
you
agree.
can do is develop your ethics, morals, and the truth. Pour concrete around your feet and stand strong.
Yeah, but that's kind of the hard part, isn't it? You know, is finding out what your morals and ethics and your principles are.
It's a journey.
Controlling that biology, man, it's paramount. It's paramount so that you are not getting sucked into this biological trap, because that's what it is.
These guys, Richard Cooper, whoever the hell else, they're selling bus tickets down at the family courthouse where you're going to get slammed on a table, blood eagled by some lawyer to the cheers of the feminist hierarchy.
Yes, sir.
I agree with that. And on top of that, these POAs and coaches, right? I see them no different than these OnlyFans, right? Because they're taking away they want the Sims to stop sipping for these women online and start sipping for their alpha macho-ness. You know, don't give their money to them, give your money to me.
I said years ago in a series of videos that men were trading in their drug of choice for another drug. You know, it's women is their heroin, and then confirmation bias with other men is their methadone. You know, it's fucked up. And when I became aware of the fact that men were simping for other men just because they said what they wanted to hear, it was a weird moment. Now, I got a lot of pushback on that when I started talking about it out loud.
Yeah, and we're getting more pushback than ever these days, especially since the under chronic situation. Because I'm like, come on, gentlemen, think about it. Do you really think that, let's say, I stopped the show because I don't have enough likes? I stopped the show because I don't have enough donations. I play the most annoying sounds and just start shilling until I get what I want. Does that really sound like a man trying to help other men in a good way? Like, come on.
Well, it sounds like an insecure man because they have to wrap themselves in these cloaks of alpha, sigma, whatever the hell they're talking about. That's all BS. That has nothing to do with manhood.
Nothing to do with
it
that.
doesn't.
I agree.
All it does is delineate the message. You know, it dilutes the message. And I think that that's 100% intentional. You know, everybody is not going to fit in everywhere. Even if you're a broken, hurt man, the manosphere might not be for you. You know, you have to find out where it is that you fit and where you can live the best.
I agree. And that's what hurts them the most, right? Not only the PUAs, but everybody else in society. They're always trying to put labels on us as a movement, as a extremist, right? But like you said, Hammerhand, all we are is just an idea, philosophical idea. It is very difficult to kill an idea. Very difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
And as men, embrace your struggle. We're all going to have struggles. Embrace it.
Yeah. Look, man, you can't turn your back on hard times. You also probably should not, open up your arms and say, "Come on to the breast, hard times." Fuck that shit. You don't want to
Great
do
point.
that either. But when you're visited by hard times, man, it's what makes your character. It's what look. I've been on the street. I've been homeless. I've been without food. I've been without car. I've walked miles to get to a job and to get home. Gone literally 2-3 weeks with no shower. Shit has been bad in life, and I'm living the best life that I've ever lived now.
Hammer, are you emotionally touchable from all those experiences? I've been through the same things.
How do you mean touchable?
Emotionally, I'm strong. I'm a palace. Nothing can emotionally destroy me because I've been through so much.
No, the only things that can get at me emotionally anymore is nostalgia, sentimentality. If I let somebody in far enough and they decide to stick a fucking knife in me, sometimes that'll bother me, but it very rarely happens. Very rarely.
Yep. Being strong is just who we are. That's what we're built to do. As a man, we have no choice but to be strong or perish, right? Because women, they don't have to worry about being strong because they're sought after just because of their existence.
Agreed. I mean,
So-
and that now why out of the two of us, the two sexes, why we're on the bottom, especially socially.
I think part of the issue is too that I've struggled with is having struggles and learning how to be positive also.
Oh man, that's a good testament, right? Because as a man, once again, right, you are expected to stay strong. You are expected to still hold that frame no matter what happens, right? From the people around you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with both of you. There's not just one point of view to a discussion like this. I have seen more down and out men recover themselves and do very well, if not exceedingly well. It's actually been, for me, it's been a rare experience to see a man that is busted, that is down and out, not recover. I just don't see that very much at all. Men are goddamn resilient. I mean, it gets to everybody. There's a quitting point for everything, but I don't see a lot of men just roll over and die.
Yeah, because both men and women have their superpowers, but they always tend to forget one of the best superpowers men have. We have the ability to adapt and thrive in the midst of adversity and danger. And right now, in today's society, women and the state are the danger, right? And they didn't put that in their calculations that, oh man, men are going to adapt to this and realize that the game is rigged.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that there were some forecasts down the road that said that this might sort of kind of be a possibility, but I don't think that they understood the damage that feminist mothers were going to do to men. You can't get this back. You can't get it back. Society is irreparably harmed over the last 3 generations all over the world, but particularly in the West. It shows everywhere in every demographic. It's a big fucking problem, and it's going to be interesting to see where humanity goes.
I believe they didn't expect social media to be the biggest variable.
Yeah, a blessing and a curse. What's up, Pulse? What's up?
I was having a debate with a buddy the other day, and I was saying, it takes 10 years to break something. It takes 50 years to remake it. And yeah. I mean, it's a long trench that we got going forward to fix what the hell has been broken.
I hate to break it to you, man, but I'm not volunteering to fix anything.
Me either.
This is not my problem. I look out. I mean, it is my problem. It's everybody's problem. But you don't get to go and fuck the world up for 60 or 70 years with your policy, with your ideologies, and then tell me that I have to bat cleanup and take care of this. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's not how it works. I still think the thing that happened in Ukraine is still beyond fucked up, and it is a clear caught in 4K situation on why the feminism is bullshit. Okay, Ukraine is a clear example.
Yeah,
Amen.
Yeah. Where are all them feminists at, man? Where'd they go?
Put your boots on.
Yeah, where'd they go? You don't hear them cranking a bunch of that shit out over here, do you? No. It's first world feminism. Feminism only exists in a first world, maybe a second world. In the emerging cultures, no, it's fucking over. History. It never even takes root. What did China just do? Fucking banned abortions. Banned gay. Ban that shit. Motherfucker, if you do it, you're going to end up in a camp down there in the western part of China, and we're going to re-educate you.
Oh,
you feel
shit.
me?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's you know, that's why I made like 2-3 parts of that subject, because I'm like, damn, right when shit gets crazy, they're all able to go escape immediately.
They've done the same thing in Poland. They did the same thing in Hungary, and they've done the same thing in Russia. The Ukraine is being, look, just my opinion, is being used as a staging point to get the bulge on Russia.
Oh yeah.
You know,
oh yeah.
This
That's
is
the
not
last
a
strong
simple
man.
Yeah, this is not a cut and dry bunch of bullshit. Zelensky's an American puppet.
Amen.
You know,
Yeah,
it's not cut and dry like the media wants you to believe. It's not.
Hammer, have you seen Ukraine on Fire?
No.
You got to check it out. Everybody needs to check that out, man. It's very informative. 2014 film about how this Victoria Nuland lady from our State Department basically instigated their whole revolution.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
It's insane.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
Well,
I mean,
I
you go
already
a few
know-
years back and
I
then
know-
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, I already know that things are always shitty, right? But when it comes to this war, they're not even hiding it, right? The recent thing that Sleepy Joe did was give $1 billion aid when it comes to weapons. And I'm like, there's a lot of arms deals going on over there. Very nice.
Sure, man.
You know,
the shady way of living, that undercover way of doing business behind your own people's backs, that shit, it's not ending today, but it is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. It's going to be over. 100 years, maybe. I hope that it's in 5 years. We need to take all of these people two behind the ear and throw them in a fucking burn pit, because they're destroying the species and they're destroying the planet.
Yep, all for the dollar
and
sign.
it's both sides of the aisle. Republicans aren't going to save you.
No, I agree.
They're as complicit as Democrat feminists.
I agree. These motherfuckers will argue and bicker all day on camera while the lights are on them, and they'll break bread at the same table when the cameras get turned off.
Yeah, it's a tug of war over $100 bill.
Yeah, you got it.
You heard about the big old bill that passed about daylight savings time? Yeah.
No, what's up?
Yeah, it's
They
distraction.
passed the bill. Yeah, this is an obvious distraction. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're on the brink of World War III. Well, we're already in World War III. And you learn about daylight savings time? They're trying to make daylight savings time permanent. So they're like, yeah, let's pass this bill. And it was all over the news. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah,
They have such a lack of respect for the modern American that they do briefings with TikTokers to disseminate their information.
Well, I mean, when you have the president, the supposed most popular motherfucker in the history of the world to be elected, sitting down with a bitch that admitted to drugging and robbing people on TV, and you're trying to get her opinion on things. That's not just pandering. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's pandering." No, it's not just pandering. It's a complete obfuscation, is what it is. It's autism, is what it is, between the two of them. And then the autistic media comes in and they fucking spurg all over it and they fall all over themselves. Oh man, she's down and out from the streets and she done made it. Yeah. Okay. She admitted to criminal fucking acts and she's still out there.
Put her ass on a food stamp. That's what she's worth.
Well, she probably came from that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she definitely came from that. Now, I'm not saying that her hustle wasn't a good hustle. Sure, it was a good hustle. But, you know, you admitted outright to doing that.
What's the cost of her hustle? The cost of her hustle was millions of young girls becoming
Yeah.
whores.
Yeah, agreed. But I mean, it's not just on her. I spoke about that just in the first part of the series that I'm doing right now, where people abdicated their responsibility to teach their kids how to suffer, what suffering means. We're in easily the fourth generation of people now that don't believe in consequences.
Yep, and Carter knows what she's doing is wrong, because I don't know if you guys already saw this video, but when her little WAP song came on, when she was on live stream, her daughter walked into the room and she immediately went to go turn off the music.
Yeah, well,
so she knows.
She's a filthy fucking bitch, and she's gonna shake that ass and hustle that fucking cash as much as she can. She's gonna ride that train all the way to the end, and if she's smart, she'll have enough money to live off of, and her daughter for a long. I guess it was a daughter. I don't know.
But, here's the thing: everybody has their hustle. She can make millions of dollars. This country goes down the toilet. Have you guys heard about what's going on with the petrodollar?
Yeah, but if there's anything recent, I probably haven't.
Well, I mean, all these countries are going away from using American currency, which is going to sink our currency. So, she may think she's a billionaire or whatever. That's going to be worth 10 cents in about fucking 5 years.
Well, that's why we're having the problems that we're having right now with China. This didn't start yesterday. This started around the time that Gaddafi was toppled. And that was because he was going to go with China and go to a gold-backed oil standard instead of a petrodollar.
Yep.
So they destroyed Libya.
He's going to use gold coins as a currency within the Middle East.
He was going to use gold-backed petrodollars is what he was going to do. So they destroyed Libya. They can't destroy China. China's been hoarding gold for 30 years.
Well, I wonder what they're going to do with the Arab Emirates now that they're not answering Joe's call, and they're flirting with China too.
I mean, none of them go.
Can't be trusted. Sleepy Joe cannot be trusted. I honestly don't blame them not picking up calls.
This motherfucker was instrumental in fucking around with old boy out there in Venezuela, and now they're trying to call him and get them to pump oil. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, Maduro, right?
Yeah, I ran too.
And they're all telling him to go fuck himself. Could you have imagined ever that we would be in that kind of position on the world stage? It's fucking embarrassing.
It really is.
It is. That's the reason why the big bad orange man never had an issue per se when it comes to getting into conflict.
They could trust him.
Well, it's not just he could trust him, but he was too unpredictable for the opposition, such as Russia or other countries, to do anything, because they don't know what the big bad orange man was going to do. Because, for example, happened in the Iran situation when the U.S. embassy in Iraq was attacked, and it found out that General Soleimani was behind it, the Iranian general. The big bad orange man was like, all right, we're just going to annihilate your entire airfield with Tomahawk missiles. And that dude was blown to smithereens. His pictures, like, he's splattered.
Oh yeah, there's big chunks of him everywhere.
Yeah, and the whole world was like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's trust. When Trump said he was going to do something, he did it. That's what a man does.
Yeah, agreed. The fact that he literally said that, yeah, I will literally. There's multiple tweets that Trump did too that was pretty hilarious, right? He's like, if North Korea does that, I'm blowing them up to smithereens. If Russia does anything, there's gonna be big problems. Blah blah. Like, and literally, we had little to no conflict.
We had no wars, none, no wars in the entire time that old boy was in office. And less than fucking 8 months later, after he's gone, we're in a fucking war.
Now the smell of weakness is in the air.
Oh yeah, man.
And all our enemies smell it, and they're coming for us. And America better wake up.
Of course. Yeah, it's not going to go too far, but still. Gents, I need to dip out for just a second. Y'all carry the conversation on. I'll be back in about 60 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
What's you got? Oh yeah, when it comes to that situation, going from Trump to Sleepy Joe, nobody no world leader is going to respect that dude. Nobody. Like, come on, he's going senile on us.
Well, not only that, he's complicit. He's complicit with all this Ukrainian corruption. His kid, all these other politicians in Washington, D.C. This is a mop-up job. This is a bunch of politicians in D.C. saying, hey, maybe we can burn all our secrets through a war.
Literally.
There's so much corruption over there. It's ridiculous. It just blows my mind. And the liberal left, they're going, oh, we hate Nazis. Every white male in America is a Nazi. You want to know where the real Nazis are? Ukraine. Look it up. There's millions of them. They're literally brigades of them.
They don't want to talk about that.
Oh no. Oh no, that's inconvenient. That's an inconvenient truth.
That's why I'm saying this situation is unfortunate, but at the same time, I understand why Putin did what he did. I definitely understand why.
In my opinion, Putin's the only one saying what he's not even saying what he's going to do. He's actually just strategizing, I guess. I don't know what the hell the dude's deal is. I mean,
he literally told the whole world there will be no winners if the West intervenes. Like directly. I'm like, damn.
Well, I mean, Trump did the same thing when Trump was in office, so, I mean, it is what it is, gang. It is what it is.
But the biggest thing that I'm going to be talking about later on in a couple hours is I'm taking a quote from the Matrix. Remember, all we're offering is the truth, nothing more. That's pretty much what the MGTOW community, the war band, I would put it red pill, but let's say some red pill content creators, all we're doing is just telling you the truth. We are not forcing you to join the side. We're not saying you have to take our ideals. Like, once again, we're not a movement, we're not a cult. We're just exposing what is, and it's up to you whether you want to accept it or not.
Well, truth is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? If you have somebody, if you're saying that it's the truth, and then the next guy over is saying, no, that's bullshit, like we're doing with Cooper here, you're left with a choice. It's a toss-up. But I feel that our choice, and it is a choice, is better simply on moral and ethical grounds. Now, a lot of folks might roll their eyes at that, but I'm not coming into this and telling you that you're obligated to anything other than freeing yourself. You're obligated to try to free yourself. That's it.
Exactly. That's the main thing, because we can't control you. Okay, you're your own man. I don't care what you do in your personal life, but I don't want you walking around blind to the entire situation, and you're purposely handed over to the slaughterhouse, aka marriage. I want you to know the information, have some type of idea of what's really happening out there, and then you can make the choice if you still want to go through with it or not. If you choose to go through with it, hey, go for it. I'm gonna laugh my ass off, but
I think
my main
men
thing
need
is
to
out of being gullible. What'd you say? Cool.
You need to vet the person you're with. I mean, and that's a long-term situation. I mean, I don't believe in marriage. I think you're putting yourself at risk. But if you're a young man and you don't have a family and that's what you want, we've all been there. You need to be clear and concise about who's on the other side of the table with you.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's just far too late for vetting, at least in the West. It's too dangerous to
I would agree with that.
Consider it.
You can vet it's not them the fact all day long, but go.
Oh, I'll say it's not the fact that what if she will divorce you or not. It's the fact that she has the capability of doing it any time.
True.
Not to mention the fact that she's institutionalized in a legal sense and absolutely incentivized to take you to court to harm you in every conceivable legal way. You see, you can vet them all fucking day long. Can you live with the consequences of what happens when she just gets up one morning and says, I think I want to do something different?
Ooh,
yeah, because women, they primarily base their decisions on emotions, and emotions change like.
And the dangerous part is when a woman pivots away from an emotion, nothing matters.
That's right.
You're dead to them. They don't care. They are ruthless.
I love you, baby, but I'm just not in love with you. If you're hearing that from anybody, put some distance between you and them now.
Immediately, I agree, because
right now, yes.
What I learned months ago during the conversation is all women are the same, right? All women are like that, but it's the environment that's different. Which is why if I still decide to have a family, it will not be in a Western country. If I decide to have a kid or anything, because their hands are tied behind their back in conservative countries where men are still appreciated, men are still in charge per se. The opposite here in the West, where men's hands are tied behind their backs, and women are put on a pedestal to Mars just because of their existence, not because of their merit. So
agreed.
I mean, do you see some of these videos online with the polyamory where the woman's bringing men into their relationships and the guy is just looking like an absolute fucking clown?
Yeah, he looks sad.
Yeah,
it's a broken man. I've never seen anything like it.
That's definitely Chedley Dudley.
And they've normalized it. That's the thing feminism does. It normalizes abhorrent behavior slowly. It's a slowly encroachment of horrible behavior that they're normalizing.
Yep, they sure do. Look, man, if you want 10 cactuses in your pussy hole, by all means, go out there and get planted. Have fun with it. Do your thing. Don't say a fucking word when it blows up in your face, because it will. Because it will. Even amongst simps, there is a hierarchy. There is. And they all operate emotionally. And you'll be in the middle of it when it fucking goes south.
There's chat simps too.
And the only thing you have to trade is your self-respect.
They don't even know what it is. To them, it's not a trade-off at all because they don't know what that means. They've never suffered actual humiliation because they were raised to be humiliated. They don't know what it means.
I agree. That's why I love making content for various topics such as MGTOW, Red Pill, whatever it is, because I'm sure, I don't know, Hammerhand, if you noticed, but younger men are starting to wake up to this thanks to social media.
But we've been seeing that for a number of years now.
I'm like,
a number of years.
It's going to take a good amount of generations. Like our current society is over with, but whatever comes out of the ashes, it's going to take a few generations to have men going back to being men.
Sure, it will. But it's not going to be easy.
No,
it's not going to be easy. And as much as people don't want to hear it, it will be the females that have common fucking sense that are going to end up leading that charge.
Yes, it will.
Men are politically, spiritually, emotionally disenfranchised everywhere. You don't hold a lot of power. The only power that you hold is to say no. And that is powerful. That is very strong.
Yep, because I definitely, if you guys just disagree or have different opinion, let me know. But I do believe that women are in charge of the culture of society.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, of course they are. Now they'll look you right in the fucking face and they'll tell you, no, this is the patriarchy. You guys are you run everything. You own all the businesses. No, you don't own shit. You don't own any fucking businesses. 1% or so own the fucking business. That's what and you're paintbrushing all men with that shit.
And politics is always downstream from culture. So this is culture, female culture, feminism culture, bleeding for the last 30 years right into politics.
Yeah, and it'll take at least that long to make a significant swing.
Well, I just think they'll back off with encroachment. You know, they'll go. They realize they've gone too far. They'll back off a little bit. It's a game. It's a game they'll play.
Sure
You know,
it is.
it's like when you're married to a toxic bitch and you go, "I want a divorce." Then she'll play okay for a while, and you know, get on the nice train, and then it'll be hell again, and then, you know, it'll go back and forth like a negotiation. Instead of doing the right thing, which what men do, they go, "This is not right. We're gonna fucking fix this." They'll play a game.
That's one of the lessons that I learned early on, was that, you know, with the whole advent of, say, Facebook, right, where it made it so easy for you to find somebody that you had fallen out of touch with, you know, an old girlfriend or an old acquaintance, bar none. Every person that I contacted way back when, I discovered the reason why we fell out of contact or did not work out as a couple.
Yeah.
Don't let sentimentality and nostalgia influence your decision making. If you're the kind of guy that keeps up with somebody and you make an effort and you fell out of touch, it's because they did not want you in their life. You were not important enough. So don't convince yourself that it was something else.
Imagine what happened to me in 2020.
Uh-oh.
I got messages from 4 or 5 different women I messed with in the past. Literally, like, "Hey, stranger, ooh, you know, it seems like you're doing good for yourself." I'm like, "What do you want?" Like,
Yeah, no
come on.
shit, right?
Like, you don't just message me out of nowhere, especially with, it came around the time where Biden mentioned that he will be ending the will they delay the red?
Yeah.
Yeah, when that came around a few days later, I was getting a couple messages from women in the past. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is what I've been taught to do for years, man. This is it. I'm at that age where the women are hitting the wall, and they're just coming in, thinking that I'm going to be their savior. Nah, not me.
You know, or show up out of fucking nowhere and then ask you for a break job after they send you nudes, motherfuckers.
And I'll give you an example of how these females, they use every construct to exact blood. I had an ex, 2016, broke up with her. I get a lawsuit against my homeowner's insurance in 2018 for $250,000.
Keep going.
A supposed slip and fall 2 years earlier.
That's
This-
amazing, isn't it?
This bitch got $100,000 off my insurance company with no evidence at all. No evidence at all.
That was the nail in the coffin for me dealing with West. It's the fact that not only they can accuse you for doing something that you didn't do, false allegations, they can do it with no evidence. Not only that, they can do it decades into the future.
They don't need evidence.
And not only that,
It's not their standard.
They don't need evidence.
Evidence is your standard,
right?
It's not theirs.
Not only that,
Right.
you know, she went and told her friends.
Oh shit! What happened?
She told her friends what?
She went and told her friends, "Hey, this is what you do. You need $100K. You know, sue an old ex-boyfriend for a fake slip and fall."
Yep.
The courts will do it.
Yep.
See,
they sure will.
That's why you can't trust them.
Imagine, something that happened at 20, and then when you're 50 years old, you're facing decades in prison for something that happened 30 years ago with no evidence. So that was the final nail in the coffin for me. I was like, nah, I'm definitely done with Western women. I am completely done.
Well,
no,
Yeah, you give them the rope, they will hang you for it.
Literally.
You know?
It is terrifying, at least for young men to see that, because which case was it? The big one with Bill Cosby? This was like in 2016, 2017, right?
Yeah.
It was like a long time ago. Imagine, though, a young man in like in the early 20s are like mortified, like, oh shit, they can literally just come. You're old as shit now, getting ready to meet your maker, and then bam, this woman you messed with 50 years ago is going to put you away for literally the rest of your life.
That's
which
why
is
you
like
don't fuck with them. Don't fuck
Look
with
at the football player, the high school football player about 15 years ago, accused, convicted, did 5 to 7 years.
It's Brian
Comes
Banks.
out, the girl friends him on Facebook and admits it was all a lie.
That's Brian
Ruined his
Banks.
whole career.
Yeah, that was Brian Banks. Well, look at fucking Deshaun Watson. I mean, the current fucking Texan quarterback. He just beat 20 of these hoes come out talking about, oh, he did. The judge come out and said, no, there's no evidence for any of this. They're just saying it because they know the fucking guy. They know that he's got millions banked. They don't care about destroying his life. They just want the fucking cash.
I mean, I feel sorry. If you're a successful, really successful young guy now, you are a target. Number
They
one.
were targets then. It's just, unfortunately, the people around them have done a piss poor fucking job of making them aware of the fact that they're targets. Any man is a target. Any man can be used for anything. If you don't have money, you might have flex. If you don't have flex, you might have stature. If you don't have stature, you might have a nice car. You're a target for anything. They don't give a fuck what they're going to get from you. They just want something.
That's
So,
why,
yeah, guys, go.
Always, yeah. That's why I always tell gentlemen, you really think she likes you for you? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's always about what you can do for them. It's always been that way. They love opportunistically. All right. I wouldn't even say that love. That's fucking being a parasite. All right. And once you reach that pinnacle, and they once you reach that pinnacle in your career, because that's usually when they want to divorce you, is when you reach the higher success, your highest paycheck, especially when with athletes, right? Because we was talking about athletes. There was a recent situation where literally not even a month after this one football player retired, his wife divorced him.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see that fame again.
Let me jump in the chat real quick, gents. 50414 on the screen there says, how do you avoid being a target? You minimize your risk profile. That's how you avoid being a target. Is it foolproof? No. How do I know it's not foolproof? Because we have examples like Mark Pearson at Waterloo Station, 2014, where he just walked by somebody in a very crowded subway terminal. They were together for 1 second, literally 1 second. And she testified that he stuck 3 fingers in her pussy, that she felt raped. No shit.
Wow.
The Crown had the video evidence. They never encountered one another except for that 1 second. And they still prosecuted him. And that's because feminists have demanded that sexual assaults, they have to have a certain amount of convictions. It doesn't matter if it's true.
So
look
about
it
how
up,
they feel.
Mark Pearson.
Yeah. It's always about how they feel.
Yeah, you minimize your risk profile. Minimize your risk profile. I made the choice consciously not to become involved with them anymore. Because they're fucking psychopaths. Because the culture enables and incentivizes this type of behavior. And they very rarely get punished for it. I can lose years. I can lose my life. I can get raped in fucking prison. You cannot take that back. You can't take it back. And I would rather just go ahead and just not have no pussy in my bed. Whether it's rented, long-term or short-term, I'd just rather go ahead and have my shit and have the rest of my life. So that's what I do.
Did I tell you about the story of me just doing my thing? Because I don't actively go out to talk to women anymore at all.
Right
I'm
on.
just doing my thing. And then when one day I was just walking back to my place because my boys are waiting for me in Warzone, Call of Duty. This woman got mad at me that I walked past. Like I walked past her and she got mad. She's like, hello? I was like, what? What did I do?
Yeah.
Oh no, she didn't say hello. She's like, hi. I was like, what do you mean hi? I don't know you.
Okay,
I don't know
and?
you. Like, what did I do? I think I was far away from you. What the? She was literally mad that I didn't pay no attention to her. Like my eyes were just focused, just straight
man,
ahead.
you find your fucking way. Find your way away from those people, man.
Well,
You know?
it's funny. It's funny because these women think feminism serves them. Feminism has led right up to one thing: paid sex work.
Pretty much.
Sure. And they wonder why they don't get any respect for it. You know, sex work is respectable profession. No, fuck that shit. No, it's not. It's not respectable. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay, when somebody's sliding in and out of you all day and all night while you're getting paid to do that filthy shit, and you come home and your old man don't want to kiss you on the mouth, Riley Reed. There's a reason that he doesn't want to kiss you on the fucking mouth. You got them leftover spermicles all over your gums and your teeth. No fucking thank you. No.
So, I mean, I started to believe, too, these females out here, they're a victim of feminism, too. They're
they are
not intelligent enough to realize they're being sold a fucking raw deal.
You ain't fucking kidding, homie. You know, I mean, look, what kind of a deal did they cash in, right? Oh, I need options. I got to be able to go. You could do that anyways. Nobody was holding you back from getting a job in 1940 or 1930 or 1920. Nobody said that you couldn't go out there and become a Harvard or an Oxford law graduate, because we have plenty of people out there on the dole that can prove to you that it happened.
Yep, they traded in the chance of having a loving husband, having a family at a young age, able to be a great mother and able to watch their kids grow into respectable children, eventually having grandchildren, and just having a great time, you know, just be surrounded by love and nurturing. They
for a meaningless life, meaningless. A 35-year-old woman without children, no family, you have a meaningless life.
Yeah, but even worse, they potentially die in war if they choose to join the military, right? If they choose. And recently, you know, they're able to join infantry, right? On top of that, they traded in that calm, cool, relaxed lifestyle for working until they're 65 or older. Definitely past 65 because they don't save. And while the rest of their families is dead, like their parents are dead, their siblings are dead or to die, their friends have their own families to attend to, right? And no man wants them at the age of 55 or 60. So they traded all that good shit of being a traditional woman for being alone, working themselves to death, and wanted to be equal to men to the point of going to war. But let's scratch off that war thing, because of course that's not going to happen yet.
What's it all really about? You know, they say it's about equal rights. It has nothing to do with equal rights. It's about understanding that out of the two sexes, they're on the bottom. Plain and simple. They're on the bottom. And they're on the bottom because of biology. If you want true equality, doesn't exist. Okay, nope. In order to have true equality, you have to hamstring men. You have to bring them down to the level of what a typical woman is. Then they declared war on God by killing kids. That's just what these people have done. Do you think I'm going to bed that down? You think I'm going to invest significant chunks of time in that kind of bullshit? Get the fuck on down the road, homegirl. I don't want nothing to do with you.
They need us to survive. And they know this. That's why they hate us a lot.
They hate us, bro. They hate us, plain and simple.
Because they know they can't survive without us. They know their existence is depending on us.
And the funny thing about is, MGTOW, is as you get older, you look for solace and peace as a man. That is what you look for. It's no longer about trying to fulfill some idea that Disney brought you, you realize all I want is peace. I just want to be left alone.
Well, notice how it's the complete opposite for women.
Exactly. They can't handle the long game.
They can't handle. So pretty much peace because we constantly deal with adversity and hard times. Women, they want drama because they always deal with the easy life. They never had to really worry about getting over giant obstacles, right? They just exist and everything is just given to them. So it's another difference that they don't imagine between men and women.
I listened to a guy talking to another gentleman. He said, I walked up to a man and I said, you love your wife? He goes, yeah, I love my wife. He goes, but do you like her?
Yeah, there's
No.
I've heard that put in different ways before, but yeah, you can have the same feelings about your kids. I've heard it referred to in that metric as well. But gentlemen, I think we're getting on a little bit late here, man. I think we're going to go ahead and start to shut this one down. It's been my pleasure, absolutely, for hosting the both of you, Pulse and Sir Yeetus. So, Mr. Pulse,
Yes, sir.
comments, questions, concerns?
Nah, you did a great job, Hammer. You're doing men's work.
I appreciate you very much, sir. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Peace out, brother. Peace out. So, Yeetus, go ahead and let everybody know, man, what you're doing tonight, what time, what channel, and where you can get it and post that information.
All right, go ahead and subscribe to Sir Yeetus. I'm going to be doing a quick live stream in an hour or two, and it's just going to be pretty much explaining why people don't like why PUAs, coaches, chameleons, feminists, etc., don't like people like us. Because if you tell them the truth, simply just give them the facts is hurting them in the long run. We're not forcing men to do anything. It's their choice. That's it, right? We have the moral high ground, right? We are just saying, hey, as men, you need to know this, right? It you to navigate through this, not only the quote unquote dating market, but society as a whole. You need to know this information, right? But these PUAs and stuff, they don't want them to know because they'll go broke. It's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting conversation. It's gonna happen in a couple hours. I'm gonna post Cesspool and Deborah's already did it. But thank you for having me on, Hammerhand. It was a pretty good conversation, and I will definitely be on the next time you have a live stream.
I appreciate you, Sir Yeetus. Thank you very much. Warband, hail.
Peace out.
Peace, brother. Well, it's just us again. You and you and you and you and you over there, motherfucker. I see you looking. Don't play. Zool at John Gorska. That's what it looks like on the outside, but it's a curse. I'm going to read a couple of your comments real quick, and then I think we're going to tuck this one in and put it to bed. And thank you very much, gents, for tuning in. If there happens to be any of you ladies in the house, thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Hope you learned something, and I mean that from the bottom of me cold, dead black heart. I hope that you did learn something. I hope you learned that the majority of men out here with two balls and two brain cells to rub together aren't looking at you. They don't want you. They don't want to pick you up. They don't want to fuck you anymore. They can't stand when you open your mouth. And that's what you wanted. That's all on you. The men that you've made over the last 3 generations, the sabotage that you have inflicted on masculinity shows up every time you turn on your TikTok and you run your fucking flapper about where all the real men at. Well, they're right in front of you. You made them. Those are real men. They're just not men that you want because they look too much like you now. Be careful what you wish for. 50414. This is literally the only MGTOW live stream. Well, I don't know about literally, but maybe. Wicked's Bane. Damn, missed half of this one, but it was a great show. Intellectual Quasar, facts hurt their feelings. Of course it does. Michael Guevara, because they can't grift a man that has walked away. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Father Saunders at Gunsight One, love reading your comments, brother. Good to see you as a wrench. Absolutely. Absolutely. Love these wrenches, man. They do one hell of a good job. Riggs Jr., check out Island Hermit RP3 channel. He's got some good stuff and a few Easter eggs. And as always, gents, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I enjoy doing what I do. Hopefully we'll be on here for a long time doing what we do, or until YouTube says, fuck this motherfucker, make him make another channel. In which case you can catch me on Odyssey. I will have 3 Hammerhand channels over on Odyssey, because every time they delete one of these, I take that content and make it another channel over there at Odyssey. So you've proven to me that the Odyssey deal actually does work. It does work. So going into the future here in the next month or so, it shouldn't be a month, but I'm just going to say it, maybe a month. We're going to go ahead and start mirroring everything to Odyssey. And when the hot shit comes along, it will debut exclusively on Odyssey. And you will know that because you'll only get like a minute-long clip or something like that. As usual, as always, every day above dirt, man, it's a good day. I hope everybody out there is having a great one. And if you're not, man, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Forget this motherfucker, and we'll see you on the next day, and I'll catch you on the next one.